of the Fantasy Sports Network. Nick Cappozzi here. It is Thursday. We got some Thursday night football happening for you tonight. But right now we're going to kick off with something special. That's right. All the way from GoForThe2.com, Mr. Joseph Lisi. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, Nick. How's everything? Thanks for having me. It's a football Thursday right now.
Well, listen, every day is football for me. I'm actually getting slack from some of the Razzballers that I'm not doing any baseball podcasts, but I'm going to work on something. I'm going to make some phone calls today, and especially for guys playing in head-to-head leagues, trying to see if we can do a little baseball. But I'm excited, man, because you're part of the Razzball Radio team now, brother. You're going to give us some college football insight. Now, listen, listeners, viewers, readers, this is still a fantasy football show, 100%. But we're going to do a segment every Thursday with Joe, because Joe knows college football like no one else that I know. We're going to talk some lines. Why not? In case you're in Vegas, or if you're watching this abroad, or I guess in the state of New Jersey, because now you can actually wager at off-track betting in New Jersey now. Chris Christie just approved that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and we love him here in New Jersey. It looks like it'll take effect this coming Sunday, so we'll see how it plays out, but everybody's excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? A little action on the game, all in the name of good fun. Okay, let's talk some of the games that are happening this weekend in college football. Let's start at the top with Iowa State versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa State plus 10 in that game. Break it down for me, Joseph.
Well, I really feel strongly about this game, Nick. I really like Iowa for a couple of factors. Iowa State started their season against North Dakota State. They were up 14-0 in the first quarter. They lost that game 31-14. They came back the following week against Kansas State, held a big halftime lead against Kansas State and quarterback Jake Waters, but they let that lead slip and lost that game 32-28. They now have to go on the road in a rivalry game to face Iowa. Iowa has not looked good over the last couple of bowl games, but I like what they have on the offensive and defensive sides, and I like head coach Kirk Ferentz. The last 3 games, though, have been decided by 6 points. I don't care. I really feel strongly about this game. I think Iowa dominates Iowa State in this matchup.
All right, so you're not taking the 10 points with Iowa State. The Hawkeyes are going to blow this right out of Iowa.
They have a great quarterback in Jake Rudock. They could possibly be a sleeper in the Big Ten Conference this year.
All right, let's see how you do. So you're taking Iowa in that game. By the way, when we were doing the tour and I drove around the country, I came up with a new state motto for the great state of Iowa. The data service not available state. Man, try and get a signal in the state of Iowa. Holy cow. Impossible. Okay, next up, Georgia Bulldogs. 6th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs versus the 24th-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina is giving you 6.5 points. Get 6.5 points with the Gamecocks. Break down that game for me, brother.
Well, you know I came on your show over the summer and I picked the Georgia Bulldogs to win the national championship.
I know you did.
I'm not backing away from that. This is a very critical game in the SEC East. South Carolina has not looked good defensively. They have a lot of inexperience on the defensive side of the ball, and on top of that, have not been able to create sacks. They have 1 sack in 2 ball games. They got exposed in the secondary by Texas A&M, and last week by East Carolina. They did pick up a 33-23 victory, but I still like Georgia in this matchup. Numbers-wise does favor South Carolina. They've won 3 of the last 4, and Georgia's dropped the last 2 in Columbia, but they've had a week to prepare. Offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, defensive coordinator Jeremy Pruitt. You give them an extra week to break down the South Carolina offense and defense. I think that benefits Georgia. Couple that with Heisman Trophy candidate Todd Gurley, 5th-year senior quarterback Hudson Mason, and a bunch of talent on the offensive side of the ball. I really think Georgia dominates this ball game.
So you're not taking South Carolina with the 6.5 points?
No, I think Georgia, it might be a close game early, but in the end, Georgia dominates. They pick up a decisive victory.
All right, Louisville Cardinals, 21st ranked in the country versus Virginia. Louisville -7.
Louisville's looked good over the first 2 ball games with new head coach Bobby Petrino. He was there prior to him moving to Arkansas. Has done a great job. Quarterback Will Garner's looked good, played well within the system, but they do have an injury that started the year with wide receiver Devontae Parker, so they're a little limited in terms of what they can do stretching defenses. When you look at this Virginia defense, they really impressed me week number Mike London.
Come on, straight up upset?
Straight up upset.
Wow.
I like Virginia in this matchup. Louisville going on the road for the first time. I think it matches up very well for the Cavs. I like what they have to offer.
All right, I'm going to see how you do, man. We're coming back next week, and I'm putting this right back on you, brother.
You do that. That's fine. Everybody calls me out. They've been calling me out on the Iowa pick, so we'll see how it that's why they play the games.
All right. Tennessee, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, the 4th-ranked Sooners in the country. Oklahoma, 21 points here going to Tennessee in this game. I don't even know what to do with that.
Well, when you look at Tennessee, for the last 4 years now, Nick, they've opened up their season 2-0. The last 3 years, the following game, they've dropped that ball game. So that's not a good sign for the Volunteers.